Hi again, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper, and yes, I have another paper doll junk journal, which is also another junk journal do-over. So I had this in on my shelf for a while, and when it doesn't sell quickly, I have an option to upgrade it, make it a little bit more spectacular. So that's what I did. I took this beautiful 1930 children's book with this gorgeous original gold design all over it. And then I added some vintage paper back here. That's the red, the same as the trim on, this is Natalie Wood, and of her dress, and some lace, and some matching ribbon and trim. And of course, I kept the same wonderful things in here and added even more things and kept the price the same, which is probably around, oh gosh, I'm sorry about the conversion, I'm not sure, maybe $78, $79 American. So let's take a little look. Again, this is an original Natalie Wood 1955 paper doll set. And there are a bunch of her outfits in this one. So what I did, look, I put it on a little hanger that I made out of a paper clip and put it on a little clothesline. I put a little magnet back there. That's my invention that I'm quite proud of. And then I also put Natalie herself on a magnet so that she can stick to the cover there as well. So I'm going to take her off so I can show you all her wonderful outfits inside and also all the fun things that are in this journal. So right inside here, we've got probably the most elegant one. And I love this original inscription here. It was sold or gifted in 1936. Look at even the little gloves line up. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that gorgeous gown, pink gown with the silver gloves. It's awesome. And then when you want to take Natalie Woods out for a more casual day, then there we go. There is her day dress, beautiful green day dress. This is an antique paper page down here that I used a vintage Dino label maker. Dynamo, yeah, and wrote journal on there. I just think that's really fun. And then this is a really cool recipe. I love the little tabs here, and there would have been a circle there, black and gold, telling you what the tab was for. And then this one is just really great things for coffee and snacks if you're having like a tea party, friends over for coffee. There is a vintage postcard backing there. And this is from 1933, their Girls' Own Annual, and they're playing field hockey there. And I just love that design. I just love it so much for a chess article. And this here is a fabulous Charles Dickens children's characters book plate. Here's another outfit for Natalie. This one's a little sleeker, maybe a little cocktail party dress there. Isn't she elegant? Looks like it has a cape almost on the back of it. And then a really fun collage down here. And this is a handwritten research paper that you can journal on the back of, or even use it for more collages, things if you would like to make your own little pieces of ephemera. And here's another one here, and that is a red coat for when she goes out on the town. Isn't that stunning? I love the yellow gloves and the yellow scarf too. They just did everything right in the 50s, honest to goodness. And then this is a really fun 1920s book page from a children's book, and we've got the little blue jay there with antique paper on both sides for you to find even more spaces to write your notes, journal, add your own thoughts. Let me get that in there. Okay, Natalie, come with me. Now this is from the 1920s. There's a girl who is canning, making her jellies in her jars. And then this is a super piece. This is my last one, I believe. This is the bar loop. This is from the 1920s. Look at that font. Isn't that amazing? Like I think I like this side better than this side. I just think it's a great sewing notion. Over 100 years old. And this is an original Arborite sample. And it is two-sided. That would have been a salesman sample. They're very rare. This actually has a little bit of value, but it's just fun. Isn't that beautiful? And you can have a lot of fun. Turn it into a keychain. How much fun would that be? Or a really god-awful necklace. And this is just a really fun early 1900s Jack in the Pulpit poem with a great image there. This is from a vintage pastel artwork book. Another one of the Charles Dickens children's characters there. And then this is an original from the Book of Wonder, the original first inside cover plate, and a 1930s flinch card. And then look at this fun dress here. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I would wear that tomorrow if it wasn't 0 degrees outside, but I love it. I love it so much. Okay, now we have another antique page here, a wonderful vintage map here, and a vintage stamps here. And I live right there. And then my American friends live right here. It's really fun. And then I have this great little floating pocket, and we have 1880s ledger page here and some really cool abbreviations, but a lot of blank space for journaling on there. And that's a little side hidden pocket here. And then up top, I've got this really fun little journal tag that I made out of a book cover. So it's hard. And just, I love this little poem here, A Violet in September. So that's just fun. And you can add your own things to that as well. This is a vintage music sheet. And this is a 1938 Shirley Temple souvenir booklet. And some little child over the last 90 years has gone in and colored that all in. I think that is absolutely adorable. And she was a very big deal. If you don't know who Shirley Temple is, you're too young, much too young. So 1928 needleworks page. And this is really cool. I always love these wartime things. That just, you can tell by the photography what era they're from. And look at that, that is 1956. Look at that beautiful nature there. And then on the back as well, some interesting page for people who collected artwork of that style. Put that back in here. There's another great plate from Clothes of the World. And come back, Natalie, here we go. It's time to put you in this pant outfit. And in the 50s, I mean, look at that sash belt. Come on. And the little tiny skirt behind her. Oh, I love it. I want this. Somebody should start a company called Paper Doll Clothes, but they're grown-up size. And I would buy them. I will be your first customer. These are from Shells of the World from 1960s. Just a really pretty, fun page there. There we go. And then we've got some nice journaling space here, children's book page here from the 40s. This is an antique book spine. And this, how old is this? Well, I'll tell you how old it is. It's from the early 1920s, but look at that beautiful, this is the way some of the photographs were done. It gives us iridescence, and that's how you know it's truly authentic and old. And it is on its original antique photo album paper, because I tried to peel it off, but I knew I would wreck the photo, so I left it on there, and I quite like that. Then I've got this vintage postcard. This one is from Florida, I think, right? Yes, Miami. And then we have another vintage children's book, or not, magazine page for making children's things here. How sweet is that? And then on this side, it's gifts from many lands, and you'll find that very fun to read. This is a gorgeous 1937 coronation photography book. Look at this cat with his little tongue out. That just cracks me up. Another beautiful little children's book page here. This is from 1932. So it has just pre-World War II, a great Paris, France almanac page. But look at that. Awesome, awesome cartoon image there. And that's from 1927 down here. This colorful page here. Two little kids looking in an antique store. And then this is just a really great page from the early 1900s on history and historic pieces of art and architecture. My early 1900s handwritten thesis page. And look at this, the Commodore Hotel in New York City. Isn't that beautiful? And that is from 1942 during the war. And then in here we have another one of Natalie's pretty tops, and that can go with her pantsuit, I would imagine. But look, it even has her little hood there that you put around her. Isn't that great? I just think it's so awesome. This is also from 1925, a really fun art education book. And then this, super cool, super rare. This is a 1800s stereoscope, and it's hard to get the full color ones. And this one is a typical street scene in the Alps. And each one is, this one is a little tiny bit offset. You can see by how it's cut off here and here. And that would give it the 3D effect when you're looking through the stereoscope, which is pretty much an antique version of a Viewmaster. Do they still have Viewmasters for kids? I guess not. I guess it would be those new virtual reality things would be the new Viewmaster. This is from the 1930s. Great artwork then with journaling space on the back of that as well. And then in this little pocket here from the little vintage pocket, we have B for baseball. Isn't that great? Edu-card there, super duper. And on the, oh God, there's so much stuff in here, it's just crazy. This is from an antique book from Denmark. I just really like it. You can journal on the back of that. That is a 1955 postcard. It was a whole bird series. That's the mallard, fun cluster. Another unbelievable postcard. Look at this. Look at her eyes, how beautiful that is. This gorgeous scene up here. And that is the back of it there. It never did get sent, so probably bought as a souvenir. This is from 1909, a cursive writing exercise page. Look how beautiful. We've got M, N, C's, and O's. Isn't that neat? Love it. Fun little children's book page there. And I love this so much. It's from 1940, the Dodge. Look at that. Amazing car. It's just to die for. Love it. 1930s Beatrix Potter plate. I have some from the early 1900s, but this is the 1930s, so almost 100 years old. And a lot of people request from me to add Beatrix Potter plates. You can always do that. If I have some, you're welcome to them. There's another one of these wonderful 1937 photographs. These tulips are, you'll see them in a lot of botanical books. They're absolutely stunning. It almost looks like an x-ray of them, doesn't it? This is gorgeous. Another photograph there from the same book. Vintage botanical book page, 1850s school architecture book. This is just from another vintage book. These three career girls. Antique paper on the back. Another vintage page down here, 1950s page. I've had a few of these because there's a few pages in my yearbook that I use. And these are from Rochester, and these are the babe pictures that match the student pictures. So fun. It's from 1933 there. This is from 1890. And come back, Natalie. We have a jacket for you again. It's another little casual jacket. She should probably put some pants on before she goes, but that is fun. There's an antique book spine there that came from a book that was falling apart. And this Christmas Eve, I was going to put that in the Christmas journal, but I really liked this plate here from 1893, so I included it in this one. And this is a fabulous plate from 1904. It's called The Watering Place, and it's so haunting and beautiful, and there's so many little things to see. It really, look at it if you're the owner of this journal. There's a lot to see in there. It's stunning, and I even like the yellow frame around it. 1920s little children's book page there. And more vintage. And in the back here, I've got a vintage playing card, a vintage index card, never got written on, a vintage dictionary page, and then a very pretty top here, and another one here. This one's really cool. It goes over top of a top. So sort of like this here. Isn't that cool fashion? Yes, so I hope you love this as much as I loved making it. It's in my Etsy shop now, hyperstamper.etsy.com. Come back soon, subscribe. No tariffs. Am I missing anything? Yeah, leave me a comment. Bye for now.